Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April 3rd. Opening day weekend is in the books. We're talking about it. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the middle of the order. My name is Steven, and we finally had baseball to watch over the weekend. And we're going to be talking about it on today's episode. But before all of that, a few quick notes. As you might notice that today is a Monday. I am going to be trying to switch to the 2-week uploads just because there's a lot of baseball to be going over in a whole week. So those Thursdays episodes that I was trying to do will be really jam-packed. So instead, I'll be uploading every Monday and Friday. The Monday episode is going over the weekend series, and the Friday episode will be going over the weekday series. So that's the plan there. So this will be kind of the first episode of what to expect going forward throughout the year. Kind of going over the series recap and a couple of little segments here and there. If you guys have any feedback about how I'm going to be doing these series recaps, please let me know at mid_of_the_order on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, we're just going to dive right into it. One other little note is that the episodes might be not as long. It's kind of just going to be, I'm going to go over everything. And however long that is, it's how long it is. So maybe around 40 minutes, 45 minutes, a little less maybe. It stays around an hour. I'm not really sure. We'll just have to kind of start, doing these series recaps, seeing how long it's going to be taking me, and go from there, get a new estimate from that way. But without further ado, we're going to dive right on in here. So let's get ready for the first ever series recap. Off, the Tigers are in the Trop to face the Rays. Game 1 opening day. It's a Jose series and Wander Franco home runs. Franco homers in the 8th. They push the lead to 4-0. Shane McClanahan, he picks up 6 Ks in 6 innings for the win, 4-0. Second game, Rays score 7 in the 3rd. Spencer Turnbull for the Detroit Tigers. He makes his first start since 2021, but he gets hit hard. He gives up 7 and 2 in the 3rd. The Rays' new pitcher, Zach Eflin, he gets 5 Ks in 5 innings for the win. A Yandy home run also in that game. Rays take it 12-2. In the 3rd game, it's all about Jeffrey Springs, who strikes out 12s and no-hits them through 6 innings. Randy Arozarena, he has a home run. The Tigers are only allowed 2 hits in the whole game. The Rays sweep the Tigers 5-1. Moving on, Baltimore in Boston. The Oilers take it on the Red Sox. Game 1 opening day. Kluber, he goes 3 innings. Not an ideal start. Baltimore, they start off the game really hot, but Red Sox catch up late, scoring 5 in the last 2 innings. Adley Rutschman and Luis Urias, they homer off of Kluber. Baltimore ends up taking the game 10-9. In game 2, it's Chris Sale on the mound, but he does not have a great start. He gets rocked. He gives up 7 in 3rd. Home runs from Ryan Mountcastle, Austin Hayes, and Cedric Mullins, but don't fret, Boston, because you guys got Alex Verdugo, Adam Duvall, and Kike Hernandez, who homer for Boston. It's 8-7. Baltimore is winning. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. They're 1 out away. Ball is hit in the air. Ryan McKenna moving in, and he drops the ball. Base runner is allowed. Next batter, Adam Duvall, crushes a walk-off homer, the only walk-off of the weekend set. Boston takes it 9-8. Rubber match, game 3. It is Kike Hernandez, it is Adam Frazier, and it's Cedric Mullins. Those are the 3 who hit home runs. Duvall, he singles in 2 in the 5th, and that would lead Boston to another win. They take the rubber match game 3, 9-5. Next up, the Giants at the Yankees. It's the big bad Aaron Judge. He hits the first home run of 2023 that gives the Yankees the lead. Later on in the game, Gleyber Torres, he hits a home run. Cole looks dominant. He strikes out 11 in 6 innings. The Yankees cruise their way to the first win of the season for them, 5-0. Game 2, Anthony Volpe, little young Yankee shortstop prospect, gets his first MLB career hit. Giancarlo Stanton crushes a ball, but the Giants get the last laugh. Jock Peterson and Brandon Crawford, they go deep as well. They win it 7-5. Rubber match in Game 3, it's Ross Stripling on the mound for the Giants, and he doesn't look great. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton both hit homers. They both have number 2 on the year. Kyle Higashioka also hits a home run. Yankees shut the Giants out again and take the series 6-0. The Twins are at the Royals, and Larchinit and Solano, they single in 2 each for the Twins wins. Lopez, he strikes out 8 in 5 1/3. The Twins start their series 1-0 with a 2-0 win against the Royals. Game 2, it's Jose Miranda who singles and a Kyle Farmer sac fly for the only 2 runs of the game. Twins will win again 2-0 in Game 2. And Game 3, it's all about the big basher Joey Gallo. He hits 2 home runs in the game, a solo shot and a 3-run shot. And that will help the Twins take the series and sweep the Royals. They win Game 3 7-4. Phillies and the Rangers, it's Jacob deGrom, his first start as a Ranger, and it isn't great. He allows 5 and didn't even get through 4 innings. Alec Boehm takes him deep. It's all the Phillies through 3 before the Texas Rangers score 9 in the 4th with help from a 3-run shot from Robbie Grossman. Brad Miller homers late in the game, but it's a blowout by that point. Texas wins 11-7. Game 2, it's Simeon. He starts the high-scoring game with a home run in the first inning. Mitch Garver, the catcher there, he gets 2. And the Rangers keep on scoring for an easy 16-3 win against the Phillies. They scored 27 runs in the first 2 games. So that takes us to Sunday Night Baseball, the first one of the year. Josh Jung, he homers for Texas. Martin Perez, he picks up where he left off last season. He strikes out 7 in 5 2/3. Texas sweeps the NL champion Phillies 2-1 in Game 3. Angels in Oakland, it's Ohtani Day. He starts for the Angels. He strikes out 10 in 6. And Hunter Renfroe in this game makes an absolutely outstanding catch, but Oakland gets the last laugh. They score 2 in the 8th to hand Angels fans their loss. They lose 2-1. Oakland takes it. In Game 2, Fujinami makes his MLB debut, and it was not a good one. He gives up 8 runs in 2 1/3. Sandoval goes 5 for the Angels, and Davidson goes the other 4. They locked it down. Angels score 11 runs in the 3rd in this game. Taylor Ward homers. The only A's run comes from Ramon Laureano, who hit his first home run of the year. Angels take Game 2 easily, 13-1. And in Game 3, it's Tyler Anderson. He doesn't allow a run in 6 innings. Logan O'Hoppe, he hits his first MLB home run, a 3-run shot. Later in the game, it's Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani who go back-to-back on back-to-back pitches. They both get their number 1 on the year. Angels cruise to a 6-0 win. The White Sox at the Astros. The Astros reveal their 2022 World Series banner. Framber and Cease are in a pitching duel. Cease has 10 Ks in 6 1/3. Framber 4 Ks in 5. Grandal homers in the 8th to tie it. Vaughn a 2-run double for the lead. And despite Jordan crushing a home run in the 9th, it isn't enough. And the White Sox take Game 1 3-2. In Game 2, the rings are revealed for the 2022 World Series Astros. And they score 5 of their 6 runs in the last 3 innings. Kyle Tucker hits a bomb, and Yordan Alvarez again. He has a bases clearing double to score 3. That will help the Astros get their first win of the year, 6-3. In game number 3, Yoan Moncada and Sebi Zavala, hit home runs, but again, it is Yordan Alvarez who drives in a key run, and the Astros take the game 6-4. And in Game 4, Mike Clevenger, he makes his debut for the White Sox. He strikes out 8 and 5. It's Luis Robert Jr. and Yoan Moncada who hit home runs to help the White Sox split the Astros. They take it 6-3, and it's 2 apiece in their 4-game set. The Guardians at the Mariners, Shane Bieber, Luis Castillo, their pitching duel for opening day. Castillo allows only 1 hit. The Mariners will score 3 in the 8th inning thanks to Ty France, who hits a home run off of Karinchak. Mariners win opening day. They take it 3-0. In Game 2, it's all about Steven Kwan, the little lefty. He has a huge night at the plate. He drives in 5 runs to help the Guardians take down the Mariners. They win 9-4. In Game 3, it's 2 solo shots for the only runs of the game by Josh Naylor and Andres Jimenez. Aaron Savali, he goes 7 innings, and that will be all the Guardians need to win the game. They win it 2-0. And in Game 4, it's Julio Rodriguez who hits his first home run of the year, as well as Mike Zunino. This is the only game that needed extra innings, and it is going to go only into 1 extra inning. In the 10th inning, Josh Naylor hits a ball to the pitcher, who goes home for 1 out, but Kyle Riley, the catcher, then throws it away, which allows the Guardians to score the game-winning run. They shut down the Mariners in the bottom of the 10th, and they take the game 6-5. Rockies and Padres, welcome to the Crone Zone. It's Game 1 opening day, and CJ Cron is the talk for the Rockies. He has 4 hits, 2 of which being home runs, and he drives in 5 of the Rockies' 7 runs. They win 7-2. In Game 2, Charlie Blackmon, he hits a 2-run shot that will elevate the Rockies for a win there. Nick Martinez and Kyle Freeland both pitch well. Kyle Freeland, he allows 3 hits in 6 innings, and he had an outstanding play at the mound. You'll never see a pitcher make a better play. The Rockies take it 4-1. Game 3, Bogarts, he hits his first bomb as the Padre, and Cron, he hits his 3rd of the year. Matt Carpenter gets a 2-run double that will help the Padres get their first win of the season. They win it 8-4. And in Game 4, Trent Grisham and Xander Bogaerts, they homer in the 3rd, and it's all the Padres would need. Ryan McMahon will homer later on, but it's not enough. Padres split the series. They win 3-1. D-backs and Dodgers opening day. D-backs scored 2 early, but the bats get quiet as the Dodgers score 8 unanswered. They win it 8-2. In game number 2, Dustin May, he pitching for the Dodgers finally again. He goes 7 innings pitched. Mookie Betts homers, but the Diamondbacks score 2 in the late innings because of Kyle Lewis. He hits a 2-run shot, and those 2 home runs, all the scoring in that game. D-backs win it 2-1. In Game 3, it is Clayton Kershaw's day. He strikes out 9 in 6 innings. Christian Walker home runs. JD Martinez, he gets his first as a Dodger, but the show is stolen from Tracy Thompson, who hits 3 home runs, including a grand slam. Dodgers will win it 10-1. And in Game 4, Smith homers, but Will Smith homers, but McCarthy for the Diamondbacks, he has a 9th inning single that brings the D-backs to life. They'll take the game and win it 2-1 there. Mets and Marlins, the Fish and the big spenders of the offseason, Max Scherzer and Sandy Alcantara, they're dueling it out opening day, and they both look good, but they both don't look great. They give up a couple runs each. Do pretty well consideringly. Garrett Cooper for the Marlins, he hits a homer to tie the game at 3 in the 6th inning, but later on Brandon Nimmo will double. He scores 2 for the Mets, and they'll win it 5-3. In Game 2, Jesus Luzardo, he strikes out 5 in 5 2/3, and it's Jose Soler and Jazz Chisholm with the solo shots for the Marlins. Pete Alonso would get 1 late, but it wouldn't be enough as the Fish win 2-1. In Game 3, Mark Canha, he drives in a run on a base hit, and then later on will homer in the game to get the Mets into scoring position and winning the game. The Mets will win it 6-2. And in Game 4 is the MLB debut for Kodai Senga and his Ghost Fork. And he does not disappoint. He strikes out 8 and 5 and a third. Tommy Pham will help him out. He will drive in 3 runs and has a 2-run shot in the game. Mets will win it 5-1. The Braves and the Nationals, Game 1, Travis d'Arnaud, he has 4 hits. Acuna, Olsen, and Albies with 2 each. Corbin again can't be that pitcher. Braves will take it 7-2. In Game 2, it is the Spencer Strider show. He dominates just like he did last year. He gets 9 Ks in 6 innings. Acuna and Olsen, they hit back-to-back home runs to lead off the game, and that's all they would need. Marcelo Ozuna also goes deep. And for the Nationals, Keibert Ruiz, he hits a home run in the 9th for the only Nats run of the game. The Braves win again 7-1. Game 3, Braves looking for the sweep. Can they do it? Mackenzie Gore, he has a nice start for the Nats. He strikes out 6 and 5 and a third and allows 1 run only, while the Nats score 4 in the first inning to not get swept, to avoid getting swept. They take Game 3 4-1. Blue Jays at the Cardinals, Game 1, 34 combined hits for the teams. It's a back and forth game. Springer has 5, Bo has 4, Tyler O'Neill and Brandon Donovan homer off of Manoah. They tie it at 5 before the back and forth game, 6-5, 7-6, 7-7, 8-7. But at the end of the day, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets the last laugh. He scores, or he hits the ball over the head of the shortstop Edman. Allows Springer to score, and the Blue Jays take Game 1 10-9. Game 2, it's all about the Jays and their shaky defense. Their bats get quiet. They can't hold them at all. Jack Flaherty, he gets 4 strikeouts in 5 innings. And in those 5 innings, he also walks 7, but it's enough to get them by. The Cardinals take their first win 4-1. And in Game 9, it's Chris Bassett making his Blue Jays debut, and it is a poor one. He gives up 9 runs in 3 and a third, allowing 3 home runs in the first inning to Brandon Donovan, Burleson. They go back-to-back, as well as Norman Gorman. He gets another one later in the game for 2, his first 2 of the season, and the Cardinals take it 9-4. Next up, the Pirates at the Reds, Game 1. It's O'Neill Cruz who hits a home run. And later on, the Reds will tie it at 4 in the 5th inning. But later, a Cruz sac fly in the 8th elevate the Pirates for their first win of the season. They take it 5-4. In Game 2, it's all about the Reds' new Viking celebration after their home run. We saw it quite a few times that day as Jonathan India, Kevin Newman, and Jake Fraley all homer for the Reds. That will elevate them to their first win. They take it 6-2. And in Game 3, it's Brian Reynolds for the Buccos. He hits a home run as their only run. But 2 solo shots for the Reds from Volser and Friedel give the Reds the win and the series victory. They take it 3-1. And for the Brewers, Stroman in Game 1 strikes out 8 in 6 innings, and Dansby Swanson making his Cub debut. He goes 3 for 4, plus a run and an RBI. The Cubs will take it 4-0. In Game 2, Ian Happ, he goes deep, but the Brewers will rally for 3 in the 8th inning and will take it. They win it 3-1. The other match, Game 3, Patrick Wisdom for the Cubs. He hits 2 home runs, but the Brewers and Jesse Winker, he gets 3 RBIs. That will help them take the series. The Brewers take it 9-5. So yeah, that was the first ever series recap here on the middle of the order. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. So yeah, going over the couple of series here, the Rangers, the Rays, and the Twins, they're the 3 teams that remain 3-0. They sweep the Phillies, the Tigers, and the Royals, who are all 0-3 and not even getting a win there here on opening weekend. Looking back at last week's episode, I said 15 guys hit a home run on opening day, and only 2 of them do. Adley Rutschman for Baltimore and O'Neill Cruz for the Pirates, so we thank them for making me look smart. The other 13 Not so much. But yeah, there's a lot of good games. We had the one walk off with Boston, the one extra innings game with the Guardians and the Mariners. Um, but yeah, just a good weekend to get things going. You know, a little bit of adjusting to the new rules and stuff. A couple pitching violations. Um, and yeah, we see a couple more hits. You know, guys like Max Muncy, Nicholas Castellanos, who are hitting the ball hard, and would be out if there was a shift. But without them, they're getting a couple base hits here and there. Going over a couple injuries really quickly now. On opening day, just before games got underway, the Mets announced that Justin Verlander would go on the IL with a muscle strain. So that's really not good for the Mets fans. And they were able to salvage their weekend pretty well, I would say. But having Justin Verlander there and making a start, they could have definitely taken the series maybe 3-1. But he'll have to go on the IL for a little bit. On opening day, Braves pitcher Max Fried, he left the game later with a hamstring injury. And Brian Snitker, the Braves manager, he said that he will definitely end up on the IL for a short period of time. So the Braves kind of lose their ace day one for a little bit here. He should be back by the end of the month. The Brewers and Luis Urias, yesterday he announced that the Brewers announced that he would have to go on the IL with a hamstring injury that will sideline him for about 6 to 8 weeks. So the Brewers need to find a new second baseman going forward for the next 2-3 months. And for the Mariners, Robbie Ray also left in his first start. He has a flexor strain, and an MRI revealed the strain, and he's gonna be shut down for the next 2 weeks for sure. So he'll be back by the end of the month, hopefully. But now it's time to get things started with the game of the weekend. In this segment, I'm gonna be choosing what I thought was the best game to watch. And there was a couple good ones. The Blue Jays and Cardinals on opening day with their 34 hits back and forth. It was great. But I think we're going to go with the Baltimore and Boston, the walk-off for the second game of the day of the of the thing. Baltimore was in the hot seat kind of the whole way through. But Boston, like Ryan McKenna drops the ball. That's the thing. If Ryan McKenna doesn't drop the ball, we're talking about a Baltimore win and a really good one at that. Going over it, Chris Sale, he started. Ryan Mountcastle hits a two-run shot off of him. Later off, Austin Hayes, he homers to make it 3-0. Boston gets one on a wild pitch in the second. But then top of the third, Mateo grounds into a force out that will score a run. Cedric Mullins then hits the 3-run home run. Baltimore's in the driver's seat, sitting pretty at 7-1. Bottom third, though, it doesn't last long because Alex Verdugo, he hits a 2-run home run. Now it's 7-3. Couple batters later, Adam Duvall hits a 2-run homer. Now it's 7-5. Later on in the game, bottom of the seventh, Kike Hernandez homers, and now it's 8-6. Boston is 2 runs down. Adam Duvall, he then hits a ground rule double to make it 8-7, and it would stay like that until Ryan McKenna drops the ball 2 outs, ninth inning, catches it, and he wins. Instead, it gives them Boston one last chance, and it's Adam Duvall who's been having himself a really good series and a great game that day. He then hits his second of the game, crushes it to left field, and Boston walks off Baltimore for the win. That is your game of the weekend. Moving on now, it is time for who's hot and who is cold. I've got 5 hitters who had fire opening day weekend, and I've got 5 hitters who did not. Starting off with our hotties, Adam Duvall for the Boston Red Sox. In those games, he went 8 for 14 with 2 home runs. He drove in 8 and scored 6 runs himself. He hit a triple and 3 doubles, so 6 of his 8 hits were extra base hits. Adam Duvall had a really good start with Boston this weekend. Next up, Tracy Thompson. We talked about him a little bit in the recap. He went 3 for 8 with 3 home runs, scoring 3 runs, and he drove in 8. It was all in that one game where he kind of just took over, but the other 2 games, one of them he didn't play in, and one of them was pretty poor showing. But he's 3 for 8. He's hot. TJ Crone with the Rockies, he went 7 for 15, crushed 3 home runs. He's leading the league right now there. 7 RBIs, 2 doubles. He scores 3 runs and gets 2 walks. He had himself a really good opening day weekend against the Padres. And honestly, the Rockies, I feel like they're going to trade him at some point, depending on how the season goes. But CJ Crone offers a lot of value for a team that doesn't look to be competing when we get into the middle of the summer. Next up for the Angels, their young prospect catcher Logan O'Hoppe. He has himself a nice series against Oakland. He goes 4 for 10, 6 RBIs, a double, a home run, his first career one, and scores 2 runs. And lastly, Wander Franco for the Rays. He went 7 for 11. He hits 1 home run, 3 doubles, scores 3 runs, and has 4 RBIs. Those are your hot hitters. Moving on to your cold hitters. Alex Bregman for the reigning champion Astros. He goes 0 for 16 with 7 Ks. Eduardo Escobar for your Mets. He has 1 for 16 with 7 Ks. Max Kepler with the Twins. He's 0 for 13, only 2 Ks. Teoscar Hernandez making his Mariners debut. He goes 1 for 14 and strikes out 5 times. And Hunter Renfroe, despite making that amazing catch in game 1, he struggles offensively. He goes 1 for 13 with 2 Ks. Moving on now, it's time for your outstanding performances, which will be 3 pitchers who had really great and talk about starts over the weekend or the week. So we're starting off with the Rays. Jeffrey Springs. He pitches 6 innings, doesn't allow a single hit. He walks 1 batter and strikes out 12. He was a big reason why the Rays were able to sweep the Tigers. That start is probably the best one of the whole weekend. Spencer Strider's start, he went 6 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, 3 walks, and struck out 9 for a Braves win. And another outstanding performance was Garrett Cole on opening day. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 11 Ks. It's his first opening day where he didn't give up a home run. Garrett Cole really, really, really looked good against those Giants, and it might be a lot to come for him and those Yankees. Another thing I want to talk about really quickly here is the Miami Marlins. On Friday, they showed off their retro jerseys that they'd be wearing every Friday home game, and they look really good. Like, I want one of those jerseys. It's such a clean jersey. The teal, oh, it's beautiful. If you haven't seen them, I would highly recommend checking them out, Googling them, because those jerseys looked great. But even though they look great, they can't play great. And highlight specifically Jazz Chisholm. We know that he's making the transition from second baseman to center field. He had comments before this even started about how he's going to win a Gold Glove. After this first series, it's not looking good. He had a lot of tough plays that he should have made and didn't. And obviously, he's an athlete and he's in that transitioning phase, but I like the confidence that he gives. MLB the 2023 cover athlete, but he needs to work on his defense a little bit because the Marlins definitely allowed runs because of him that they might not have needed to give it up. He looks bad out there. It is just straight up flat out he looks bad. He's making awful routes to the balls, diving when he shouldn't be. He needs to clean it up a little bit, and sooner than later. Obviously, it's only one series in, but it was definitely a noticeable factor for that first series, and most likely will be continuing and going forward until he can clean it up a little bit. But yeah, so five of the series were 4 game sets. Um, we had three that split. Dodgers and D-backs, they're 2-2. Rockies and Padres, they're 2-2. Um, and I believe the White Sox and Astros are 2-2. Let me just double check that. But yeah, so those were the games that happened Friday. Those five that were able to um, play on Friday were the ones that got 4 game sets, and we're cruising into the first weekday series of the season. So yeah, the Mets, they took their Marlins 3-1. Um, the Astros and the White Sox, they split 2-2. And the Guardians and the Mariners, yeah, the Guardians, they took 3-1. So the Guardians and the Mets are the winners of the 4 game series going 3-1. The other 6 team Dodgers, D-backs, Astros, White Sox, and Padres, Rockies split 2-2. Speaking of the weekday series going into it, the Mets take on the Brewers. The Giants are taking on the White Sox. The Cubs are taking on the Reds. The Twins will be going to Miami. The Rays are heading to the Nationals. Phillies to the Yankees. Pirates to Boston, a little interleague there. Blue Jays are off to the Royals. The Braves to the Cardinals. Baltimore to Texas. Detroit to the Astros. Guardians to the Athletics. Diamondbacks to the Padres. Angels to the Mariners, and the Rockies to the Dodgers. One last note here in this episode, the Rangers looked good. Like, we knew that they were going to be a little bit different entering this year, but 27 runs in the first 2 games. The Rangers offense looked good. Their pitching, we know what the pitching can do. Jacob deGrom, he's definitely going to bounce back his next start. Nathan Eovaldi pitched well. I think the Rangers might be surprising some teams, and I know it's early, but I just want to point out that they looked good throughout this first weekend series. But that will wrap us up here for the first episode for opening day recap. I know this one definitely wasn't the best episode because it's definitely going to be a little bit of trial and error again going forward. It's also my birthday today, so I'm kind of rushing around today specifically. But any feedback that you can have to improve these episodes, leave in the comments, mid_of the order. We're going to be wrapped up here. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys Friday for the weekday series recap.